Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing an update on the Thorn v Sven. I keep wanting to call it Sven v Thorn fam tree, aka family tree. Basically, I have made some additions. One, V's family, Mark, Cobra, Arson, Spotty, Glimmer, and why am I forgetting your name? Why am I forgetting the albino? Zen's name have been placed along with their pupils. I have the design of Sven's actual mate and not his affair partner, aka Raven. I've also done some huge changes to it. So, I've designed two of Sven's daughters unintentionally. Originally, what was happening was I was trying to redesign Dahlia, who maybe I'll do another video on that. I don't know. But long story short for that one is I started to design Dahlia, gave up some potential ideas, realized one of them would be perfect for a different character in her kits, and decided, you know what, one of these characters looks like they could be perfect for a mink kit, a mink daughter, if the mother is Ginger herself. And thus, I decided to do that. And then, when adding her in, I decided to do the hectic thing of adding to the family tree. So let me turn off the screenshot and then this layer. Yeah, I added in more of the family tree. I need to do a Slade family tree because Slade here, I need to show off his babies more properly than the first one, the first rough. Granted, the issue with that is I don't know how many litters and with who he has kids with fully yet. I just know up to a point. It's like all the ones from the second draft are still going to exist. They might get some redesigns, aka become fluffy because Claire is now fluffy. But yeah, I added in the basics of Slade's family tree. I don't know if I actually have Reed's design. I don't think I do. So he needs to be designed at some point, but that's beside the point. Yeah, here we have Flora, Slade's sister, Kabuto, who I swear has Slade's original design, which is hilarious. Ginger, poor Ginger. She deserved better. Formerly Cole, now named as Redacted. And then forever never named. Kept the unknown generations. If you're wondering why that some of the colors are different, it's because I did one family tree and I didn't color pick because I did it separately. And then I also, for some of them, turned the names to text. So I can't really copy the name if I do that. And I can't check what size the thing was. But Raven, Thorn, Fennec, Ocean, Solaris, Layla, Crow, Buttercup, Timber, Cloverleaf, Fox, Vulpin, and Vixen are unchanged. These guys gained their pupils since I screenshotted this, apparently. I think I've actually done all of these cats' actual reference sheets, or at least their roughs. least most of them. Yeah, I have done all of them because I'm working on the third litter for reference sheets. Which kind of says I need to do a tiny family tree, which pretty much is just going to be Snake, put unknown generations, and then Misty one put Talon X Izzy's kits, unknown kits for them because they're unknown, and then Talon Izzy, Ryan, and then Talon's family, which is formerly named Maple. I need to rename her, so I don't have two Maples. Sometimes it's bad enough with Slade sometimes. Technically speaking, I could have added this for the edited chaos, but I didn't feel like it. We have Claire and Mink's parents, who are not named, and they don't need names. It's more so just a question if I need to figure out if I need to actually design the survivors of Claire and Mink's older siblings, and how many of them there are. But yeah, I named her Dapple. When looking at her reference sheet, I'm convinced not her reference sheet, but her mother's reference sheet. I'm convinced she's an experiment of Cliff Lally. Let me actually open up that file so I can just show it. So show the full bodies a little bit. This is a new template. I technically speaking did not do the full body template. The bust is mine. Mink's reference you with a pain when I was putting in here for the reference, so I just redid it. Because I don't actually have his file. Some of the files I don't actually have anymore. Not because I deleted them or anything, it's because when I transferred computers, some of them didn't actually stay. Which is fine, I guess I could probably just need to make a big custom thing or something. But here's Dapple's, not Dapple, but you are Dapple. It's full design. Um, well, yeah, Dapple's the one who looks like a Cliff Valley experience. Like, she's probably a bit too dark / bright for Cliff Valley. Be happy, but close enough. I'm confusing her with Mink's daughter, who I need a name. Because she's the one who's the mother of the kids. I think. Yes. So she's the mother of Slade's, not Slade, Sven's kids. I will say this, designed Yuki, and I thought, yes, her name is Yuki. Because I don't want to do snow when I already have a snowy. That would get confusing real quick. Technically speaking, Lumi means snow as well. I need to name these two real quick as well. And then I need to name all of Sven's remaining kits that he has with Miss Unnamed so far. Let me scroll. But I thought since I mentioned that, let me turn off names and close this folder. I do these, some of the names are connected to their bust, because as stated, I turned it to a text layer. The downside of this, me adding in all of her siblings and then her, like, and her parentage. And then more of the family tree is it made a pain to fix Sven and Khan's end of the family trees. I literally had to do this just so he would not accidentally connect with his kids. Hmm. These two ended up tabbies. Trying to figure out what I should have for a tabby ratio real quick. Make him a tabby as well, just for confusion's sake. Make him a little bit more simpler, I guess. And these guys are cousins with Fox, Vulpin, and Vixen. Not that they know it. I'm not gonna go overboard with a rough headshot design for him. I just want to make some quick designs. Because, yeah, this is something I'll probably be posting on my DeviantArt before this comes out, or at least before the end of the year. It just depends if I figure out names for these guys. If I remember correctly, one of these cats has this for marking. So I'm going to repeat it. Just watch that's from a different tree and not. And spotted tabby because grandma's a spotted tabby. Technically, I could have made this rounded. I might actually just make that rounded. I know actual tabbies don't have the markings like this, but eh. I'm trying to make it simple for myself. And because I can make this a little bit more unique. I don't think this will be a major character at all. I'm still debating what's gonna happen with Sven. If he ends up living, nothing traumatic will happen to this boy immediately in his young life. But if I... Oops, did not mean to grab pure white. Did I just make that pure white? Did not mean to do that. Oops. That was a mistake. But yeah, depending on what I do with Sven Stone, this boy may or may not end up traumatized. I see this for the entire first litter they have. Whoops. I'm using a mouse, by the way, because I've just been doing all my reference sheets. Not my reference sheets, all my designs lately with my mouse because I'm being lazy about pulling my keyboard up. And dark nose. Mother has green eyes. Father has amber. Let me just do a randomization. Okay, he will have green. And I'm not going to eyeball the... I'm just going to eyeball the green. Doesn't have to be exact. I don't want to color pick everything. Oops, that's a bit too dull. Personality-wise, I don't know what he's going to be like, because, as said, I don't know fully what's happening with Sven. Yeah, Sven, I don't know what I'm fully doing with him. If I have Sven live and get away with his crimes, he's eventually going to be found out for being the father of Fox, Vulpin, and Vixen. But no matter what, because that's still going to happen. I'm still attached to the idea of Fox nearly dying alongside Sapphire, and they both getting scarred. Well, I don't think I actually scarred Fox from that. If I did, I didn't post an update to his reference sheet. I cannot recall if I did that. No, I think I actually did. But that's still happening, at least as of right now. So that's when it's going to be found out. Raven's going to crack when seeing one of them nearly dead. And if Sven's alive at that point, who knows what's going to happen, but I feel like the kids would definitely resent Sven for that. Like, sure, technically speaking, Raven did have a blackout. I'm just undecided on if he was stalking her before that or not. Because technically speaking, he has a mate. And my initial plans is actually for them to be somewhat abusive relationship or at least controlling for Sven and still to be named. Which isn't great, and I think, and that would make me feel so much bad because his own daughter went through something similar to what his sister's going through, and we can only imagine the horribleness Claire's going through. But, eh. Okay, and then these two will be playing. Let me be a little bit lazy about how I do this. I'm just making her bicolor. I'll make the other one a ginger calico, like ginger, not ginger, like river. And let me tweak this to a different color a little bit, so it's a little bit less weird looking. Okay, well, what color am I giving her? I'm actually just choosing between two colors, or rough colors. So I'm literally just doing yes or no. Okay, she does have some relevance to her father or uncle. And We'll grab this color. Like, a lot of times I'm usually imagining what's happening to these characters during their lives, and that's not something I really have figured out for Sven's kits. Mainly because they're still new to existing. Some of it is, it's more so I have well planned for what I'm gonna do to their mother. And of course, Fox, because I have Fox figured out a lot. Vixen, though, I do have her figured out to some degree as well. Wolpen, I don't know. For all I know, I'm gonna kill off somebody in here. It's very plausible. Uh, do I want anyone to be a Twisted Shadow? It'd be funny if I do that for the remaining two kits, they're Twisted Shadows. So your eyes shall be purple. Light or dark? Dark for no. Add. Okay. Nope. No, no. Let's. She will have dark purple eyes. Okay. Just to show that, technically speaking, Sven's family, while not Twisted Shadows, we're pretty close to producing one. So, yeah. The funny thing is, I might make it just his daughters that are Twisted Shadows. For irony's sake. Okay. Now I'm gonna reselect this color and grab a darker one. And tint it a little. Thing is, Sven doesn't really have that much in regards to face markings. Meanwhile, Claire's family does. Well, Minx. Me scrolling with this is annoying a bit. Ugh. It's not fully doing what I want, but it's fine. I would say come up with name suggestions for me if you guys have any, but the likelihood is, um, unless they're already deceased for these ones, I might have their name by the time this is uploaded. Because this is getting uploaded, what day did I say this was going for? the New Year, New Year's Eve. Like, I imagine all of their names by the New Year's. If you guys follow me on DeviantArt or pop into the Discord, that should be linked. You guys can, if you want, you can try to get previews of my reference sheets and help me name the unnamed characters. Especially on my DeviantArt, because sometimes I'll just post them without a name if I need a name and I just can't think of one. The good thing is I, technically speaking, still don't need to rush this for names. Simply because I don't need these characters till book 2. Like, everyone on this tree, ignoring Timber, ignoring this little dude, will be born by the end of book 2. And technically speaking, it's really just up to here where I need names for the end of book 1, the very end. And I, technically speaking, have been writing one-shots for the prequel stuff. And technically speaking, what I was doing before, I rewrote the prologue again and decided for sure I'm starting the prequel stuff. I was writing this guy's one-shot for the last of the one-shots before it connects to what's now the epilogue of book 1, where Claire gives birth to Hazelstone and Hawk. But how I'm gonna end his one shot is the birth of his kids. I won't name them in the one shot. What might happen is I might post the one shots early. I don't know. It depends where I'm at in the writing process. Maybe I'll throw them up as like little previews. 'Cause there's not that many of them. Snippets of a rough of end of book 1. Okay, I'm gonna do the ear fuzz last. I just want to get designs roughly figured out. Okay, that's actually a decent dark purple. Every time I do purple, my worry is it's gonna be the same shade as Hazel's. Let's make it a nice, like, deep indigo, I guess. I don't know if this is indigo. I don't. That would require me looking at color hexes. And how I have to do color hexes is I need to grab the text tool. Because I can't just input the numbers right here. Oh my god, ugh. The upside about using a mouse is I can scroll into it without having to touch the navigator. Downside. Sometimes scrolling is a pain. Okay, and I'm gonna do a roll for 1 3. I say a roll, but I don't have my dice out. Okay, and this one will have, yes, for light purple eyes. I'm gonna tint it. Wait, no, that's way too close to Hazel's. Maybe, I don't know. I might be thinking lavenders when I say that. Because lavender does have a light purple. But yeah, I thought I would show you at least part of the process, because this isn't something I can do quickly. Sure, I enjoy doing them, because it's nice to have character maps of how they're all connected, especially when I have a cast that's above 100. Do I think some series really need them? Yes. Some series that are tiny? No. But things like, for example, Warriors, they definitely need it. And it's clear that they don't have a series Bible or a way to check entries, and sometimes they're adding stuff that's more problematic. Hickey, they don't care that the cats are resulting in incest. I will be doing next year. This will probably already be said because this video is coming at the 31st, and the 20th is the day of the plans for next year thing. But I want to do some warrior rants, and one of them is Moonpaw about her being an incest baby. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna Calico, Tabby, bicolor. So it's roll 1-3. Okay, the first one's a Calico. Calico. Apparently they're all quote unquote calicos. He is lucky that I don't give any F's about um cats being calicos or tortoise shells for toms. I know technically speaking they would be infertile. I'm not gonna even make him a true one. I'm just gonna do this. No, that's weird. Mink, let me look at Mink's family real quick. Okay, I really should have done this mask more. Let me repeat his dad's mask with black and ginger, more or less. And I'm not making them true calicos of them with their asymmetrical patterns right now because I want some more symmetrical characters so I don't have to fix things. Plus, neither parent has asymmetrical markings. Technically, none of them do on this end. Okay, and then I probably want to grab that red. This might be done a bit differently, it's fine. That's a bit too red. Let me make that a little bit more orange. The problem with Sven, he's very red. You know what? Nah, he will be symmetrical face-wise. Paw-wise, I'll make him when I do his full body eventually. I can add more colors. I guess I'll grab his colors red. Let's Grab this. It looks nice. I'm gonna give him a black dot on his chest. Sweet. Yes. It's a chest marking. You can have some weird chest marking. It's fine. She's a big splotch. And then actually, let me grab the silver. Which one is? I know for a fact pink silver. So let me grab that. Her markings can be interesting too. She might get a design change later. I don't know. As I said, I don't need to be completely set on these characters' designs. I just want to get the family tree kind of made. Because I already got it mostly done. Might as well have a rough out. And it's nice to be ahead on figuring out what I want. Okay. You the same red as Dapple? No. No, I need to make that a little bit later. This is a bit of thing I don't normally do. Sorry if this is not the most exciting little speed paint thing. Well, not speed paint, but you know what I mean. Actually, it makes a different color. Just get the ears quick. That looks better. And then saddle. And some spotting. No, I'm just gonna give these guys dark noses. Okay, we'll roll between 1 and 3 for Twisted Shadows. Green, and then purple. Okay. 2 of them are Twisted Shadows. Okay, I'll give you this shade. Yes, it can be light or dark also. And I guess light. Purple. But yeah, basically how I do feeling trees is if I already know who they're related to and I've stated it in their reference sheets, I put that together and connect them. The issue is, especially for the third draft, I've overcomplicated this to the point where I really need to disconnect it because there's not enough room, at least for in a fire alpaca file, to do the full family trees. And a light purple. Let's make it a light indigo, not indigo, whatever this bluish purple, purple. Just as a reminder, in my series, Twisted Shadows, for if they're the first Twisted Shadow in their bloodline, as in their parents weren't Twisted Shadows or any of their ancestors beyond their parents that are directly connected to them, then the purple means Twisted Shadow. For Hazel, she's not the first Twisted Shadow or Visionary, because technically speaking, Visionaries count. Visionaries also, if they're the first line, can have purple. Technically speaking, if you have Chromia, it only requires one eye. Ginger was not a Visionary or Twisted Shadow, but she had purple eyes because it's in her bloodline. Reed was not a Twisted Shadow, but one of his kits was. Miss Nameless here. She should have been a Twisted Shadow, but for whatever reason, when her form was supposed to form, it just didn't work. It failed. And then her kits, who were cursed, became Twisted Shadows by force. And since technically speaking, Nameless should have been a Twisted Shadow herself, and her kits were forced into it, this became a bloodline of Twisted Shadows. And Kabuto doesn't have the purple eyes, but he has yellow. Slade himself is not a Twisted Shadow, but his daughter and son of his surviving daughter and son of his first litter are both Twisted Shadows. None in his second litter are Twisted Shadows. I could have changed that, but I didn't. His third litter, I don't remember if I've decided if they're Twisted Shadows or not. I don't remember if I've decided or not if the ones he had with Shadow were Twisted Shadows or not. But since these kids of Sven's are the first Twisted Shadows, so Vixen, to be named, and to be named, or all three of them are Twisted Shadows of his bloodline, they have yet to be a Twisted. They have yet, there's yet to be a Twisted Shadow, quote unquote, in that bloodline, so therefore they have purple eyes. I'm debating if I need to change the lore about how guardians work. So if the lore changes, so Tiny could possibly be one because her ancestor Izzy was the first one to be who had the original power of being a visionary slash with shadow combined because it was originally one power. Um, if I change my mind on the lore, that means Tiny might end up becoming Twisted Shadow, and then most definitely some of her kits would become Twisted Shadows. But their eyes wouldn't have to change because it's already in the bloodline. But that's if I change the lore on that one. To finish up here, I'm just gonna put in ear color and see if there's any of them to call out to me for a name. And if not, we'll end here, and I will potentially ask my D&D people if they have name suggestions. If they don't, I'll come up with something eventually, or I'll look up random names. That's how it usually goes. Oh, I need to give her a nose color. Fix that in a second. Also, they have a thin layer of fur fluff here, so this is not skin. This is also the fur between their toes, and if you want to be extra, fur on the nose bridge would be that color. Would be this color. Just like how the nose and the pads are the same color. I usually just base it off either the marking on the ear or the base, depending on how I feel for ear fuzz color. Because this is all fluff. And I don't like the orange. Which is weird. I like orange. It's just sometimes when designing characters, orange can be a bit weird for coloring. Same for reds. It's easier for me to do it with the blues. Occasionally, I've gone away with pink and purple. As kind of stated, Tales of Rhazie, my cats can be 100% sparkle, just not green unless it's a very dark gray or black that's just tinted green. Can't be a full green. Eye color can be any color of the rainbow, but as stated, purple eyes either means your cat's a guardian, aka has an unnatural ability, which means they're not in this area because that's very uncommon. They are child of a guardian, which, once again, extremely uncommon, and that's usually only around where the meteor hit, or the blessed one, aka chosen by the meteor. And the most common way is you're either the firstborn, not firstborn, the first of a bloodline, a quote unquote first of a bloodline, and or you're descended of a bloodline of Twisted Shadows or Visionaries. Because technically speaking, Vixen's the first of her bloodline, same as this yellow one here, and same for him. They're all, technically speaking, the first of their bloodline out of Sven and their respective mother for being a Twisted Shadow. Because technically speaking, the Twisted Shadow bloodline that connects to this tree is Slade, and they're not related to Slade in any way yet. That's another story when it comes to Fox and Baby Leaf. And any of these skits, they may or may not mate with cats that do have Twisted Shadow in their bloodline. But yeah, this is how I spend most of my time working on the family tree once I get all the headshots and then the replacement of NA or their actual name. Also, I do have a temp mapping, which is there for, oh, here is how they connect to XYZ roughly for their family tree. And usually when I do the actual mapping, I'm more picky, which means something like this shouldn't be there, but lazy. I'm lazy. Also, let me know what you guys think about Sven's and Khan's connection. Should I change it so the should I change it so it's easier to read? Or anything you think I could do to make it easier to read? Actually, one thing I should probably add to this is his tiny second letter. Two N L I T G E. My Ikimi is being sensitive. R. Should maybe change the color of this. Because this is Tiny's second letter, not her first. Which kind of says I need to do a separate thing for Tiny because she has a minimum of 4 litters in her lifetime that I have roughly planned to have. As in, I have 3 full planned litters out for her. Her 4th litter, the only one I can remember her having is her albino son, Yumi, I think is what I named him. Which I have no idea what the meaning was, but when I looked it up, I knew what the meaning was. But yeah, here is an example of me mostly finishing up a family tree. And how I roughly do it when the cats don't have designs is I just give them a random headshot design, and then I'll base their full ref off it. And if I can't duplicate their full ref, then the headshot bust will get an edit, which means I will need to update the military at some point. But nothing's calling out to me for names for one, their mother yet, or the children. Well, that's a lie. Fiery names are coming out to me, and the issue with that is I have some fiery names already used, and I need to debate if they give it up or check what I have already. Sorry for the yawning. I don't know why I'm yawning. But yeah, this is pretty much this entire family tree figured out except Reed, which is fine. Because technically speaking, it adds to the fact nobody knows what he looks like or remembers. But I'll probably do his design at some point soon. Nameless, I like her design. I unintentionally gave him the wrong chest marking. You should not have that. Unless, nope, that should be a dot. I'll fix that because he's not related to the nameless one in any way. But quick note, if you guys are confused about the nameless one, she was never named. She's has several nicknames like murderer, rejected, the vengeful mother is the most well known of her nicknames. Beloved, my sweet and whatnot, because she, technically speaking, does not have a name. And unlike the sweetness of Snake and Light, where Snake actually named her mate did not name her and just gave her nicknames. I just realized they had the same barking but upside down. What the hell? That was unintentional. But yeah, I like to refer to this as Sven v Thorn instead of Thorn v Sven. The only reason why they're versus each other is they're competing about who's the superior bloodline without knowing. Because both of them have mated with Raven, who had a black cat. The cat instinctively chose to have kittens because instinct was too powerful. No brain cell, just instinct. And she used her brain cells once they reactivated to immediately mate with her mate, realizing she just did it with some rando who may or may not be a guest. It may or may not be pregnant with his kits or had his kits and be pregnant with his second litter. When is this in the timeline? Yeah, they actually have to be in between ages. Makes sense. Oria's kitten, she's probably was pregnant, or yeah, she was already pregnant with this litter. So height wise, for litters, it's this litter, then this litter, then and then this litter, then this litter. With Layla and Solaris being born probably first. Wait, no, not first. If I was to look at the kits for order of birth, it would be Sven and to be named daughters first litter, Solaris and Layla second litter, these seven, Tiny second litter, and then the sole survivor of Timber. I will never let it go that he's the sole survivor of his litter, because technically speaking, um, I'm gonna do a quick little ending, little story about Timber. as we end this episode of random stuff about Tales of Rhazie. Timber. Originally, what I had planned for Raven was for Raven to die giving birth. One plan was her to die while pregnant. Another was her to die giving birth to Timber. In the end, somehow, she survived, spilled the beans on Fox's lineage for the second draft. These two didn't exist. And granted, we could presume that, technically speaking, for the second draft, that Crow, Buttercup, Clover, Vulpin, and Vixen were all stillborn, technically speaking. Because Raven's mentioned to be constantly pregnant and either having miscarriage or stillborn kits that don't last long. And they're the umpteen time of her trying, and the only full successful kits that live to quote unquote adulthood. Because I think Fox's attack happened right before adulthood, or pretty close to it, or right before, right after. And she was pregnant with Timber when that happened. Gives birth to Timber, and then I think she dies. Yeah, she dies. Timber witnesses it as Fox saves him, and then Hazel was nursing Timber, even though Thorn hated it, and there was really no other choice other than Claire, who's funny enough. All the Mollies that he had options with nursing his kids for the second draft were Claire, Hazel, who's not here, and Tiny for second draft. But yeah, so Fox almost didn't exist, but I also almost killed Raven off by having her give birth to him. But to say this, um, probably a chunk of these might end up dead. Like, sure, Sven is very much probably going to be killed. I already have Slade's death planned out. Flora is long dead. Raven, I don't know if I'm killing her off the same way I did or not. Actually, she can't die off the same way. Stuff plays out differently in third draft. Thorn, I don't know if he's going to die the same way. I didn't even kill him in the second draft because I never finished the second draft. Or did I kill him in the second draft? It's been too long since I've attempted to write the second draft and gave up on it. Can't confirm. A little bit of spoilers here. I already have decided one of the kits of Dapple and Mink are going to die. How they're going to die, but when is the real question, when it is going to happen. And I'm not deciding which one. And this is not even... Yeah, this is older kits. But yeah, some of these cats I'm going to kill off. Part of the reason why I added in more characters was just so, oh look, I can feel less sensitive about killing off my babies. Okay, I grew attached to Fox and don't want to kill him off anymore. I should have not grown attached. Leaf I had no plans to kill off. But Fox originally was meant to die again in the second draft. That changed. That very much changed. He almost dies though. As for Tiny's kits, I'll be honest. Spotty's my favorite, so she might live long. But yeah, that'll be it for this ramble of Tales of Rhazie with a little bit of me doing art. I'll probably finish up doing their pupils and then post in the Discord that I'm in that I made for the channel, which my D&D group is in. post the screenshots of the bust and ask if they have any name suggestions. Technically speaking, the ones that already have pupils, I've already put in there that I need names up for them at some point. So if this family tree is not posted by time this comes out, that means I'm still figuring out names. Or I've decided to go crazy and add another letter to someone and think I can squeeze it in. Or decide to squeeze in tiny family tree on top, which is really just above steak, and putting Izzy's end of things on it. But that'll be it. See you guys in the next video. Whether it be rambles, one of my gaming videos, or whatnot. See you again then. Bye!